Hello, hello. Welcome. If you're just joining, my name is Meredith Edwards, and I'm all about delivering creative inspiration based on spiritual principles. So today we are talking about, and I am revealing step 2 of my 3-step creative process. This is a 3-part process that I have been using in my own life, in my various creative projects, in my day-to-day creative life, because as human beings, we are always creating our lives every day. We are the conscious creators of our own lives, number one. But I use it in my creative projects as a filmmaker, as a life coach, as an entrepreneur, as a human. And so I offer it to you today. And this is just a general breakdown of this process. There's quite a bit more that goes with it, but this is just a very simple outline that you can use in your own life. So step 2. So last week we went over step 1. Step 1 is dream it up. Dream it up. Step 1 is all about getting inspired in spirit. So spirit, it's kind of, that which is greater than you, grander than you. That's why the word is up. And dream it up. Allow yourself to really dream and vision and allow yourself to be limitless, to be free of any kind of inner critic that as soon as you have a good idea that feels sparkly inside comes in and is like, no, you can't do that. You don't have time for that. You know who I'm talking about, that inner critic who shuts things down as soon as you have them. So it gives you that fluid time to really get into your creative flow and get inspired by your inner guidance system. So that's step 1. Now, we know what goes up must come down. So step 2 is lay it down. Lay it down. Okay, I'm going to... Hey everyone who's just joined, it's so nice to see you here. Familiar names. So I'm gonna post this and then pin it. Lay it down. Step 2, lay it down. Okay. So this is all about, this is once you have created that foundation, that fundamental inspiration that you need for any creative project, for any creative vision. To be a conscious creator, you need to be inspired, hands down. That is why that is step 1. You must have that. But you also need step 2. You got to lay it down. You got to take that inspiration and lay it down in a way that brings it down to earth. You can't just have an idea in your mind and expect anything to create anything from that. Even the word create is an active word. To create something, that is to manifest it out of here and down here. So it's both parts. You need both. So for an example, the pilot that I mentioned last week, I just recently wrote a pilot. And I had been sitting with this idea, and I had dreamt this idea up for well over a year. So that phase was locked and loaded. And I had meditated on it, I had dreamed about it, I had done free writes about it, creative visualizations about it, active imagination techniques about it. I had done so many things to dream up that idea, and it felt really good and juicy and inspired. So the next step is I had to sit down with a journal and a pen, literally like a journal and pen. I didn't even use my computer for this part. And I outlined it. I took all of my creative ideas that were really inspired and juiced up, and I put them on the page. So that in itself is a manifestation, is a physical, tangible thing that I can see and read and touch. So it's like one step into that creative manifestation process. It is taking the idea and putting it down. So don't skip this step either. Don't skip either step. You need both. You need step 1, you need to dream it up, get inspired, and you need step 2, you need to lay it down and outline it and make it practical, make it physical, make it tangible so you can see it. And this is a part of that creative process, because as I sat down to outline it, a lot of what was in my head and swirling around in my head and heart, and I had maybe put it on notes and journals and stuff before, but actually sitting down to put it in an outline made it this whole different creative experience. I was able to see it and dream about it in a different way because it took a different form. It's a different form. The energy is different. And so that's why it's also needed. So I sat down and I just outlined it all and I wrote it all out. And then I had this outline. And so that's an example. Another less active example is, so say during your Dream It Up phase, you're just tuning in to how you feel in the moment. And say you might be feeling irritable, or anxious, or overwhelmed. And so you just allow yourself to sit with that. And then dream up, okay, well, how do I want to feel? How do I want to feel? And just the act of first being present with your feelings allows those feelings to change. So that is definitely a part of the process. And that is why I always recommend for conscious creativity sitting in silence for a moment to tune into your inner guidance system, to see what's up, to see what's present, to see what's real. That's what's real. It's the only thing that's real. And so then you might ask, how do I want to feel? And then you might allow yourself to dream that up. Dream a version of you where you are not feeling that way because it feels crappy, and you're feeling instead excited or joyful or relaxed or asleep. And so you dream that up and allow yourself to experience that in your Dream It Up stage. And then you come back from that and you write down. I always recommend journaling or writing it down, writing it in your notes, getting it out of the head and onto something tangible. And then you write down, how can I support that vision? So that might look like, okay, you know what? I need to go to bed early tonight. That simple. I'm going to bed at 9 p.m. Or I am saying no to X, Y, and Z. Or I will, whatever it is that supports that creative vision that you wanted, that you tuned into consciously because you took a moment to tune in consciously. And that's all you need, is the intention behind it. So lay it down. So right now, since you're here with me, and for those who are watching later, let's take a moment we'll create a little mini ritual to do just that, because there's no other time like the present time, and you're here right now and you're looking at my face. So have this experience with me. Tune in with me. Close your eyes right now if you can. If you can't close your eyes, then just take a deep breath and try to get as present as possible right now. And allow your breath to become slow and deep. We don't always have lots of time to just sit and take deep breaths, but just one deep breath can sometimes do the trick of just checking in, becoming conscious of who I am, where I am, what I want, before taking the next step. Sometimes all you need is one breath, so that if that's all you can give yourself right now, if it's all the time you have, then just do the one breath. You obviously have time for that because you're breathing all the time, whether you're conscious of it or not. And as you breathe, you can allow your thoughts to quiet. And you don't need to force them any which way. You can just allow them to come and go, like clouds passing. They will come and go anyway. Tune into your body. Your physical being, your body, which holds and stores everything, which takes you through this life consciously or not, your body. And for this experience now, perhaps you already have something that you want to create, whether that's a creative project, whether that's a pilot, whether that's a novel, a business, a career change, a relationship, a baby of any kind. If you already have that and that feels clear to you, then bring it in right now. If you do not have that, then I invite you to just tune into how you feel. And then you might ask yourself, how do I want to feel? And if you have something that you are actively creating or envisioning, and whatever it is, maybe it's different in this moment, and that's okay. That's what this is all about. It allows you to get really real and really true with what's real and what's present, because the only thing that's present, the only thing that's real is presence. The only thing that's present is real. So just tuning in to what it is, what that is. And you can see yourself doing that thing or feeling that way. No inner critics allowed here. Just allow yourself to experience that dream, that desire, that vision, that want, that need. See where you are, who you're with, what you're doing, how you feel. The relationship to the world around you, to the people around you. If it is perhaps an art piece like a pilot or a painting or a novel, then just allow that piece to speak to you. What does it want to say? How does it move you? And so wherever you are in this process, because we're all in many different places right now, just allow yourself to be with it. And to forego any kind of control, but to allow yourself to surrender to it. And it might change. A big vision might come to a smaller vision, or vice versa. Or a grand vision might come to a more specific vision. This is your time to dream it up. And we'll just take a couple more breaths here. And when you're ready, you can slowly come back. You can float your eyes open if they were closed. And I invite you to get a piece of paper or a journal or your phone. I know you have your phone. Go to your notepad in your phone and lay it down. Lay it down. Whatever came through, lay it down. So you can write what you saw, how you felt, what you wanted, what you didn't want. Anything that came up for you, write it down. Put it into form. You know, you can write it, you could speak it, but it's taking that next step to write it, vocalize it, speak it to a friend. But get it out of here and lay it down on the earth. That's that practical earth energy. And it's that second part to the creative process, to the manifestation process. Lay it down. And this doesn't mean that you're going to create a 5-year plan. It doesn't mean that you are going to have a budget. It doesn't mean that you are going to detail your entire calendar over the next month. It means you are taking what came through in a conscious way, whatever that was, and you're putting it down and you're reflecting on it. And from this place, because we all have many different creative visions here, I want you to take one step. Commit to taking one next step from this outline, from this journaling, from this speaking, from whatever came through to you. Decide and commit on taking one step that furthers that manifestation process. And commit to it. Lay it down. It's creating the space for it. And so that might mean writing the pilot. That might mean getting out your calendar. That might mean making the phone call. That might mean saying the hard thing. That might mean ending the job. That might mean coming and waking up earlier. That might mean starting a meditation practice. That might mean going to a class. That might mean whatever it is. Only you know what it is. But it's taking one step forward. Lay it down. You're laying down the pathway to your creative vision. We are all meant to become the highest possible creative manifestation of ourselves in this lifetime. That is your birthright. That is your creative purpose. You have a purpose. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. And part of our job as humans, part of our purpose is to tune into what that is and do it every day. This is how we can live our most fulfilled lives and serve the purpose that we are meant to do, which studies show make us fulfilled. So that's what it's all about, right? Thank you for joining me. Lay it down. Dream it up, lay it down. Dream it up, lay it down. Dream it up, lay it down. Now next week will be step 3, the final step. There is a final step. After we've dreamt it up and laid it down, there's one final step. So join me next Monday, 5 p.m. Pacific. I'll see you next time.